What's going on, everyone? Ali Reza here, back with a brand new episode of Iran Tech. And one of the problems that has always bothered people with disabilities is their dependence on the people around them to move around. And this is in large part because of the weight of the wheelchair that they have to sit on. Because the wheelchair itself is so heavy, they can't even maybe open it up enough to be able to sit on them and move around themselves. Or, for example, fold it up and put it in the back seat of their car once they sit in the car seat. But what if we were to come up with a design, a wheelchair design that is much, much lighter and much more easy to disassemble so that you can pick it up a lot more easily? That could perhaps fix the issue so that you may no longer be so reliant on the people around you. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about and focusing on in this episode of Iran Tech. We're going to be talking about a new design of wheelchairs that is a lot more easy to carry on, to pick up, and to disassemble. Of course, after we go through a brief contemporary history of wheelchairs. Stay tuned. It's important to make the distinction between passive and active wheelchairs. Passive wheelchairs are just that. They're meant to be used in passing, temporarily, and not for extended periods of time. And this is why you see passive wheelchairs being used in hospitals, because they're just designed to take the patient from one place to another until they exit the hospital. They're not meant to be used for prolonged periods of time. But this is where active wheelchairs come into play. They're designed to fit the body shape, the height, the weight of the individual patient. One important characteristic of these active wheelchairs is that they need to be lightweight so that they would allow the patient to be a lot more independent in the usage of these wheelchairs, so that they could, for example, get in their car while being able to disassemble the wheelchair and just pick it up and put it in the back seat. But in order to be able to do that, they need to be extremely lightweight, which is not something that you could say about passive wheelchairs. But in order to be lightweight, they need to be made out of a lightweight but still durable material. This is where carbon fiber comes in. Now, how do we get to this very rigid but very lightweight carbon fiber structure? Well, it all starts from this piece of carbon fiber, this woven carbon fiber cloth-like thing, which is consisted of thousands of these little carbon strands, and each of these carbon strands are made up of 1,000 more strands of carbon, which makes it incredibly difficult, maybe even impossible to tear. Now, I'm sure people stronger than me have tried it, and maybe a couple of them have succeeded, but I can't imagine this is a very easy task to do. And you can imagine 1,000 of these woven together would be pretty much impossible to rip or to tear. You can cut them, though, because you would need to cut them to be able to fit them into the molds. So once the excess bits of epoxy are broken up and sanded down, we still need to attach the other layer, because this is just one half of one layer. And then we will glue those parts into each other. But still, this is a rather rough texture. It still cannot be painted on. But once we attach all of the different parts of the structure together and we get this, to be able to prepare it for the painting, we need to sand it down to a fair amount so that it's ready and primed to go into the painting room back there to be painted with whatever color the patient has decided their wheelchair will be.
Assembly. Based on the custom backrests, wheels, paint, and footrests are going to be assembled together, with some of them needing to go into a furnace before being painted for the paint to really stick.
There are different weight categories when it comes to wheelchairs. Between 12 to 15 kilograms is considered standard or standard lightweight. Anything beyond 15 to 18 kilograms is considered heavy, and anything above 18 is just substandard. Now, when we're talking about these particular active wheelchairs made in this company, we're talking about between 8 to 9 kilograms with the wheels, and once the wheels are taken off and the patient wants to carry or at least pick up the wheelchair and put it somewhere else, we're talking about 5 to 6 kilograms. And this is how packing up a wheelchair looks like. So you can take out these plates like so. Then you can take out the wheels just by pushing a button. on the wheels, they're not going to come off just without pushing this button, so you're safe. No need to worry about that. And then, lastly, there's a pull tab here, which allows you to fold the wheelchair up and carry it like this. This is the 5 to 6 kilograms that we're talking about, which is going to be very easy for the person on the wheelchair to, for example, get inside the car, disassemble the wheelchair, and just pick it up and put it in the back seat. So this is what we mean by an active wheelchair. You can't possibly do this with like a folding passive wheelchair that you see in a hospital. And yeah, these are definitely one of the biggest advantages of active wheelchairs, particularly the ones made from carbon fiber, because they're so easy to carry and disassemble and reassemble.
We make this wheelchair based on the size of our customer's body and their type of disability, the wheelchair's width and length, its footrest and backrest height, type of armrest and also type of brakes are all made here and delivered to the customer. In fact, a wheelchair is said to be like shoes and clothes. It means it shouldn't be too big or too small. If a wheelchair is too big, it causes scoliosis, and if it's too small, it causes bed sore or other diseases in the patient. We've tried to make a very active wheelchair. It means the patient is able to push the wheelchair by himself and move without any aids and live independently. To do this, the wheelchair must be lightweight and suitable for the size of the patient's body. We've tried to apply these things in this carbon fiber wheelchair. Everything is based on the customer's needs.
And that was it for the manufacturing process of wheelchairs made up of carbon fiber, this incredible material that is as durable as it is light. Now, of course, this is not the only project that this company is working on to improve the quality of life of the people with disabilities. They're also, for example, working on certain types of wheelchairs that not only disassemble and can easily be picked up, but they can also be directly integrated as a car seat into a car. So here's hoping we can get back here soon to be able to see the fruits of these labors having been paid off. With that said, we come to the end of this edition of Iran Tech. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next week.